improvisation, for our professional improvisation. And in this step, a Kalsekar Degree College, IQAC, College IQAC has in association with IARA, Indian Academic and Research Association, we have decided to have this workshop for our party for the benefit of all teachers who want to publish papers in Scopus journals. Uh, our college has been associated with IARA. We have had our international conference publications with them. For the last 2 3 years, we have been associated with them, and we have been having a very nice opportunity and experience with them. And I hope that this workshop will be beneficial to all the participants. And during this period, it is the best way that we can utilize our time by publishing papers, improving our professional biodata and qualifications. And yeah, our college, regarding our college, will be completing nearly 20 years of our college. Nearly we had started in 2000, so we are nearly in our this year we'll be completing 2 decades. Number of activities that our college has been conducting regularly, conferences. Every year we have an international conference. And academically too, we have students who have been coming up with flying colors, with the best infrastructure and teaching faculties that we have. And we have arts, commerce, and science and self-finance courses in our institution. So it has been, yeah, a really a good thing to be associated with IRA. And I hope that from this workshop, each one of us benefits and we have good takeaways. And our resource person will really provide us with those skills. Okay, thank you very much. And I hand over to the organizers for further this program, continuation of this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
My presentation is visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'll also go mute now.
Yeah. Just have a quick introduction of our IARA. IARA is Indian Academicians and Researcher Association. It was formed by some group of academicians in government, and later it was expanded to have office in the main motive of this organization is to promote the research activity and help in researching research activity. So we have a group of people who organize the conferences, we organize seminars, we organize publication facilities also, and we are associated with some reputed journal of Web of Science, then Scopus for publications. So this is about brief part. We have also have two in-house journal. One is International Journal of Advanced and Innovative Research, and one is International Journal of Research in Management and Social Science. So in these two journals, we publish the papers. Then we also have the membership facility. From membership facility, we get the students get lot of benefits like free publication of paper in care journals, then publication of in book, etc. So this is the membership certificate glimpse of them. We also organized our first international dissertation and doctoral research award in 2019 in September. We have also a wing for publication of the paper. We publish books. In this, we convert the thesis into books, as well as we have the edited book. These are the some few glimpses of the books that we offer. And for more details, you can go for our website, www.iara.com. So now let me introduce our resource person, Dr. Kunal Gaurav. Dr. Kunal Gaurav is the alumni of Aligarh Muslim University. He has done his doctorate from this university. He is also associated with IAIMA as accredited management teacher. He is also currently associated with area chair of research and consultancy wing of Shiv Shivani Institute of Management, Secunderabad. He is also honorary position of holding the honorary position of Senior Vice President Operation in International Acceptance Marketing Standard Board, International Institute of Marketing Professional, Canada. He is also associated with many universities like ICFI, University Hyderabad, Tata Institute of Social Science, Hyderabad campus, Symbiosis Law College, NIMS, etc. He is also one of the visiting faculty of NIMS University, Mumbai. In addition to this, in his basket, he is having published many number of papers. He having a credit of 11 books in his credit. Have published around 21 papers in international journals. Is having 7 book chapters and also involving many consultancy projects. So this is about the brief part of our research person introduction part. So now I am handing over to Mr. Dr. Kunal for the presentation. Dr. Kunal?
Yes, thank you so much.
Welcome, sir, for the session. Now you can take over for presentation. Dr. Kunal? Yeah.
I hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Yeah, it is visible.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Kunal Gaurav, and I welcome you all to the Faculty Development Program on how to write and publish in Scopus journals. I am so grateful to the organizers of this FDP for offering a wonderful platform to the academic and research community to learn and take the research capabilities to the next level. Research and publications has become very important key responsibility areas for the professors across the domain. We must undertake research and publish our research papers in high impact journals in order to keep pace with the global teaching and research standards. I am very sure that today's session is going to be an eye-opener for all of us, and it will certainly help us to take our research and publication to the next level. Before I start my presentation, I would like to ask a very simple question from all of you, and you can answer in the chat box. Are you really interested in becoming a better researcher? I am sure that most of you are from academic and research background, and you are undertaking some kind of research right now. But are you really interested to be better? Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for giving your wonderful feedback. I'm so grateful that I'm having an audience where everybody is very serious of becoming a better researcher. This session is going to be very beneficial for the faculty members working in the universities and university affiliated colleges. This session will help research scholars doing their PhD program and MPhil program to come out with a fantastic research report and complete their program with flying colors. Research professionals working in the industry will certainly find new inputs for the research and will find new dimensions for the research they are interested to undertake. Last but not least, this session is going to be very, very interesting for anybody who want to publish in high impact journals, journals that are indexed at Scopus. Before I start the session, I would like to share something. Today, academic profession is no more free from the pain. We academicians are facing a lot of difficulties in our work, and I'm very sure that all of you will agree to it. Can I have some response from your side that what you think that the pain you are facing in this profession? I want your answer in the chat box right away. So please type your answer with respect to what is the pain of this profession as far as your academic profession is concerned. Please type your answer in the chat box. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm getting so many feedback, and I'm so happy to know that all of you are posting right feedback, right point you are highlighting, and this is something that most of us are worried about. Let me tell you what research says as far as pain of academic profession is concerned. I have identified few pains of academic professionals today from research. Most of the academic professionals, basically professors and lecturers, they find their job very, very monotonous. They are doing same thing again and again for years together. So they don't find some excitement. They don't find new energy. They don't find new motivation to do the job in a better way. Most of us will agree to it that today we are not able to connect with our students in an effective manner. We belong to Gen X and baby boomers, and our students are belonging to Gen Y and Gen Z generation. So sometimes we are not able to connect to our students. Skill rusting is one of the other problems. Most of us are not upgrading our skill and knowledge on a regular basis. My dear friend, industry is changing every day. And if we don't upgrade ourselves and don't match ourselves to the changing trend, we are going to get lost. Once upon a time, everybody used to talk about survival for the fittest. Today, survival for the fittest is no more effective. It cannot guarantee you success. Today, we have to adopt a new strategy that's called survival for the quickest. We have to be very quick in changing ourselves with the changing trend, and that's only possible when we keep on upgrading our skills. We teachers are loaded with a lot of unproductive work. We are expected to do administrative work. We are expected to do invigilation. We are expected to do evaluation. We are expected to do a lot of coordination work. And at the end of the day, we are left with very little time, but with very high expectation of the management. We all are under tremendous pressure for doing research and publishing papers at high impact places. You might have noticed in last few years, most of the universities and schools are hiring professors considering the publication credentials of the applicants. Not only that, even existing faculty members are under tremendous pressure to publish the papers. The reason is very simple. All academic institutions want to go for accreditation. An accreditation body gives so much importance to research and publication credentials of the faculty members. Most of us feel that there is no enough growth. When we compare ourselves with our counterpart in the industry, we feel industry professionals are growing with a much faster pace compared to us. So these are some of the untold pain of academicians in today's world. Someone rightly said, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. My dear friend, pain will be there. It's a law of nature. You can't have only happiness. But how you deal with this pain and how you conquer, it's all up to you and me. So pain is inevitable, but suffering is very, very optional. It's very important for all of us to know what you are going to get from this webinar. You are going to spend your precious time to this webinar. You are going to get wonderful trigger to undertake your high quality research. You will be able to move up in the research journey. This webinar will add to your intellectual growth. This webinar will help you explore new opportunities to gain new skill sets. This webinar will help you understand tricks of the trade to publish in high impact journals, especially at Scopus index journals. Today, whole academic system in the country is behind the Scopus publication. And my dear friend, publishing in Scopus journals are absolutely not easy. If you do a lot of publication, this certainly boosts your profile. And at the end of the day, you are going to establish yourself as one of the most credible academic professionals in the industry. Your status is certainly going to go up. So this is something you can expect from this webinar. Once upon a time, Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way you are right. My dear friend, at this point of time, I would like to have your permission to briefly introduce myself, and I want you to give me permission to the chat box. Just type yes. If you permit me to introduce myself, I'll take 1 minute time and introduce myself. Please give your response at the chat box. Thank you so very much for granting me the permission to introduce myself. I will take hardly 60 seconds to briefly present myself to you. I am Dr. Kunal Gaurav, a North Indian by default, but a South Indian by choice. I am basically an agriculture science graduate and completed MBA with a specialization in marketing and PhD from one of the top universities in India, that is Aligarh Muslim University, in the area of relationship marketing. I have completed several certifications from Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, and Harvard Business School, United States. I started my career in sales with a Japanese conglomerate called Sensui, but quickly shifted to teaching and started my teaching career with ICFI Business School way back in 2005. At present, I am working with Sid Sivani Institute of Management, Secunderabad, as Area Chair Research and Consultancy and Professor of Marketing. In addition, I am also associated with few renowned academic institutions such as NMIMS University, Mumbai, Symbiosis International University, Hyderabad, ICFI University Group, Hyderabad, and Tata Institute of Social Science, Hyderabad campus as a visiting faculty. I am an academician with 17 plus years of experience in management teaching, research and publications, and academic administration. I have written and published several research articles in referred journals, including 10 plus research papers in Scopus, ABDC, and Web of Science Index journals. I have also written several case studies and published number of books in the area of branding, entrepreneurship, and general management. I have trained 2,000 plus management professors in the area of research and publication, effective teaching methodologies, case writing, and case teaching in management. Being a professor of marketing, I have also trained 5,000 plus postgraduate level students who are working in various positions at multinational corporations across the world. So thank you so much for having me as a resource person today. And I assure you that at the end of the webinar, you are going to get experience, wonderful value addition to yourself. I am on a mission to help 1,000 academic and research professionals in 2020 to position themselves as a credible researcher by helping them write and publish at high impact journals. And this session is part of my mission. I'll start this session with basic understanding of research. What is research all about? My dear friends, you all are doing research. And I know that you know what is research and how to take it to the next level. As we are going to talk about publishing in high impact journals, it's very important for us to recapitulate our understanding of research. Research is a careful and detailed study into a specific problem, concern, or issue using the specific research methodology. In general, research involves collection, organization, and analysis of information to increase our understanding of a topic or an issue. At a very basic level, research has three stages. In first stage, researchers pose a question. In second stage, researchers collect data in order to answer the question. In third stage, researchers answer the question with the help of undertaking effective data analysis. If you break the three steps, you will come with a lot of sub-steps. Step 1 is all about defining the problem, developing research objectives, and formulating hypothesis. Hypothesis is very important in research because in the course of research, we either accept the null hypothesis or we reject the null hypothesis. We know what is hypothesis all about. Hypothesis is an assumption that tells us about the relationship between two or more variables, and we test this relationship in the course of the research. Step 2 is all about collecting and evaluating secondary data as well as primary data. Step 3 is all about analyzing the data and preparing the research report. Whenever you do research, most of us are more concerned with the research outcomes. So we can see research outcomes in different ways. Research outcomes can be seen in the form of a simple article, an article that can be published in a newspaper or in a magazine. Sometimes researcher is more interested in writing a thought paper. And in thought paper, researcher is presenting his thought, his point of view with respect to the situation that is considered in the research. Research paper is one of the most powerful research outcomes you and me are interested in writing and publishing. Case study is also one of the very important research outcomes. And today, whole world is going for case method of teaching. There are several organizations like Harvard Business School and Case Center UK, and they are very much prominent in publishing cases. Industry report is also very, very important form of research outcome. PhD scholars and MPhil scholars are more concerned with developing their thesis. Academicians, after gaining a lot of experience in the industry, sometimes they decide to write a book for the benefit of society at large. So these are the research outcomes that you and me come across whenever we do research. The million-dollar question is, most of us are faculty members and we are very happy in teaching. The question is, why to do research? Is this really important? My dear friend, it's very, very important. Research helps us develop new research model, and the model can be tested across the cultural context, across the geographical locations in order to understand the validity and reliability of the research model. Research helps us generate new theory to the literature. Research often helps us add to the existing body of knowledge. You might have come across future direction of research while reading a research paper. Whenever we do research, we give some hints to the future researchers that how to extend this research across the context. Today, research is also considered as ladder to professional success. Most of the faculty members across the country are expected to do research, and research is connected to the promotion opportunities. Your professional success in academics often depend on your research credibility. Research makes better teachers. If you do research on some topic, you are going to become authority in that area, and you will be in the position to teach the subject in much better way. Research makes you a credible person. If somebody is searching your name on Google and finding your name in Google Scholar, some kind of credibility is attached to you. Last but not least, research helps you establish yourself as a very credible personal brand in academic market. No matter how much you know, no matter how much I know, most of the time it is restricted to you and your student. But when you do research, your credentials are known to the rest of the world. My dear friend, we must do research in order to upgrade ourselves and to match ourselves with a changing context. We all are very much interested to write and publish for Scopus index journals. It's very important for us to understand why indexation is so important. My dear friend, indexation of a journal is considered as a reflection of its quality. Today, schools and universities are struggling to get accreditation because accreditations help them become an institute of eminence. Similarly, if a journal is indexed with Scopus, it's understood that it's a quality journal, and indexed journals are always considered better than non-indexed journals. Most of the time, indexing is done on the basis of the impact factor of a journal. This is a simple formula that is used to calculate impact factor, but formula is not important for us. What is important for us is why to publish in a journal with impact factor. My dear friend, the journal is given an impact factor based on the computation of that how many times the research article published in the journal is referred and cited by the research community across the world. When you publish your paper in a journal having an impact factor, it means your journal is going to get referred by the world. If you publish your journal in a substandard journal, nobody is going to read your paper, nobody is going to refer your paper. It's like you are making a movie and no one is going to watch. What is the use of you making a movie when nobody is watching your movie? In the same way, my dear friend, what is the use of you writing a research paper when nobody is reading your research paper? Writing a good quality research paper takes blood and sweat. It's not easy. It takes so much time, so much effort, so much energy of all of us. If we publish our research paper with high impact journals, chances are very high it will be referred and cited by the research community across the world. And you'll be able to leave a legacy even when you won't exist in this world with the help of your high impact research. As far as Scopus is concerned, it's owned by Elsevier, and it is one of the very famous abstract and citation database launched in 2004. Scopus gives you 4 types of quality measures like H-index, site score, SJR, and SNP. As of now, Scopus covers 39,744 journals in top subjects like life sciences, social sciences, physical sciences, and health sciences. In addition to journals, Scopus also covers book series and trade journals. And good thing with Scopus is all the journals in the Scopus database are reviewed every year in order to ensure the journals are maintaining the same quality year by year. Whenever you submit your paper to a Scopus index journals, what happens? These are the possibilities we come across. Most of the time, our research papers get desk rejected. We Indians are not very good in taking care of plagiarism. A research says 70% of research papers submitted by Indian authors are rejected by top journals just because of plagiarism. If things are okay, it goes for first review and get rejected because we don't comply to the journal's guidelines. Only few authors take moderation of complying to the guidelines given by the journal. If everything is good, the journal goes to expert review and authors get resubmissions and revision guidelines. If everything is positive, your paper go in the publication pipeline, and in some point of time it gets published and it's available for the benefit of academic and research community. This is a very simple and common research paper outline used by most of the researchers across the world. All research papers start with abstract with keywords. It goes for introduction, then literature review, then research objectives and hypothesis, research methodology, data analysis, conclusion and discussions, limitations and future research and references. My dear friend, things are so simple. Then also, there should be something that we are not able to publish. Either you refer a low-grade journal or you refer a high-grade journal. All journals follow more or less same outline. Henry Ford once said, nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. My dear friend, there are several approaches of research. Research can be qualitative in nature, where researcher is dealing with non-numerical data. Research can also be quantitative in nature, where researcher is dealing with numerical data. He is undertaking data analysis using empirical tools. Research can be a field research, it can be desk research. Research can be done on the basis of primary data, research can be done on the basis of secondary data. Research can be academic research, research can be industry research. Academic research is done for the benefit of academia, for the benefit of research. Industry research is done for the benefit of industry and for the benefit of society. These are different types of research papers. I am very sure all of you have idea about it. Research paper can be analytical research paper, it can be argumentative research paper, it can be cause and effect research paper, it can be experimental research paper, it can be problem and solution research paper, it can be report paper, it can be survey research paper. Based on the requirements, based on the context, we decide to go ahead with a unique type of research paper. At this point of time, I would like to ask you a very simple question. When everything is so common, so simple, why it is so difficult to publish in a Scopus journal? Please give me your answer in the chat box. I am coming to the chat box to have a look at your answers. Please let me know why you think it's very difficult to publish in Scopus Index Journal when everything is so simple. I am waiting for your feedback in the chat box. Please let me know what you think is stopping you to publish your research paper in a Scopus Index Journal. Wonderful. I started getting a lot of feedback. Very nice. Good. Thank you so very much. I'll be just pulling some of the reasons participants are highlighting. They are saying weak data analysis, lack of proper guidance, weak methodology, not knowing the criteria, unable to understand problem, not having enough information about data analysis. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I was reading one book written by Howard S. Baker, and the title of the book is Trick of the Trade. He says, every trade has some tricks. And if you want to be successful in the trade, you don't have to know only trade, you also have to know the tricks of the trade. In this session, I am going to tell you the tricks of the trade for research and publication with reference to high impact publications. My dear friends, most of the time, we are not able to make it to top Scopus journal because of some problem we have with these assessment criteria. These are the assessment criteria used by the journals for evaluating a research paper. Most of us are not able to define problem in a very significant manner in the research paper. Sometimes we do have problem in identifying the suitable research methodology. Most of us strongly feel that if we are making use of complicated research methodology and doing complicated data analysis with tools like structure equation modeling, path regression, conjoint analysis, paper will be published. My dear friend, it is just a myth. I came across many good quality research papers published in impact journals, and they have done very simple analysis. Your success lies in making sure that you are having effective research methodology for your research paper. Most of the time, we Indians are not able to present very good quality literature review in the research paper. We all know what is literature review. Literature review is the process of appreciating existing body of knowledge. But what we do, most of the time, we summarize the research papers and present the summary in literature review. And that is not a good idea, my dear friends. Whenever you are writing a literature review section, you must know the science of writing literature review. There are different styles of writing literature review. You can write literature review either using a chronological strategy or following a thematic strategy of writing literature review. You are not expected to just do summary. You are expected to connect existing research papers with your research. You have to ensure that logical flow of thought is maintained from the beginning to the end. And whenever you are selecting a research paper for inclusion into the literature review, always remember 3 criteria. Look at the authority of the research paper. Who is the author? What is his or her credentials? What is his or her area of expertise? Look at the usefulness of the research paper. And very important thing, look at the reliability of the information. Most of us, we include literature in the literature review that is easily available. Most of the time, we download research paper from Google Scholar because we don't have access to EBSCO, we don't have access to Emerald. My dear friend, if you want to learn the tricks of downloading high quality research papers without paying a single rupee, let me know, I'll help you. You can send me a text on my WhatsApp number that I'll give you at the end of the session. I'll help you how to download any paper and every paper that is available in the internet space. Normally what happens? You want to download a paper, but you come to know that paper has been published by Science Direct or by Elsevier or by Emerald, and they want you to subscribe to download the paper. I will tell you some tools, some techniques. You will be able to download the paper by passing the journal server. So there should not be any dearth for collecting research papers. The next problem we face in making a structure and writing of the research paper effective. My dear friends, we must have to articulate all the information in the research paper in a very effective manner. And we have to ensure that we are progressing from starting to the end in a very logical manner. We have to present information in a very clear, precise way. At this level, we cannot commit grammatical error while writing a research paper. We have to make use of accurate academic language and writing conventions. But I'm very sorry to see what is happening. Most of us are writing research papers but hardly bother to cross-check as long as grammatical errors are concerned. Nothing wrong in making use of the computerized grammar tools. One of the very powerful tools that check grammar in your script is Grammarly, and it's free. So please make use of Grammarly and make sure that whatever you are writing is of good quality. Your research paper presentation must be in sync with the guidelines given by the journal. And most of the time, we don't bother to make sure to follow the guidelines given by the journal. We have to make use of appropriate paginations, layout, margin, typological accuracy, consistency, citation styles, and all these things. Most of us don't bother about presenting right referencing and right citations in the research papers. There are journals, they are very rigid. They want you to follow a specific guidelines, a specific referencing style. Across the world, researchers are following referencing styles such as Harvard style of referencing, an APA style of referencing, and MLA style of referencing. My dear friend, you have to follow one of the referencing style that is very compatible to the journal where you are publishing. And whenever you are presenting references in the bibliography section, make sure that you are maintaining a standardization while writing those references. And what I have noticed as a reviewer of several journals, most of the authors don't standardize their reference page. Reference number 1 is written in one manner, reference number 2 is written in another manner. We jumble research paper, book, website, magazine, newspaper, everything together. Not a good idea. We have to make sure that we are following a standard guidelines. There is a website. You can make note of it. It is known as www.citethisthisforme.com. If you go to this website gives you a simple form. And it wants you to fill all the details like author name, title of the paper, name of the journal, publication year, volume number, page number, and the system will give you citations and references in the way you want. Wonderful. We have technology at place. We just have to make use of it. My dear friend, either you like technology or you don't like technology, you have to make use of technology if you are really sincere in moving up in your life. Most of the time we have problem in selecting a journal. We don't know where to publish. I am going to tell you the four things that you should do while selecting a journal to publish your research paper. Go to a Scopus if you are interested to publish in Scopus Index Journal and make use of Journal Finder. You will find a search engine. They'll ask you to type subject or title or ISSN number. Whatever information you have, type it there. It will give you lot many journals, and again make use of filtering options. Say that you want only journal, they are from this country, then tell them about the topic of your paper, and you'll be able to filter those journals. Look at the impact factor of the journal. Never ever publish in a journal having no impact factor. It's great to spend some time on understanding the editorial board members and affiliation of the published author. It is also very interesting to check the credibility of the journal before you send your paper for publication in that journal. My dear friends, we came to the section where I am going to tell you some tools, some tips, some tricks of the trade. Are you interested to know the tricks of the trade? If yes, type yes in the chat box and I will start telling you the tricks of the trade to publish in Scopus Index journals. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving your wonderful feedback. I'll just let you know about few tricks of the trade. And if you really follow these tricks, your life is going to be very simple, very easy as far as publication in Scopus Index Journal is concerned. From today, remember only one thing as far as research paper writing is concerned, and that is quality first. My dear friend, don't be in rush of publishing number of research papers. What happens? When you believe so much in quantity, you start compromising with quality. If you publish one research paper in 1 year in a top journal, your life is sorted. You don't have to publish 10 research papers in a non-impact journal that actually give you no value. So always give importance to quality, and quality first should be the mantra. Number 2, always do research in the niche area. My dear friend, you might have heard about blue ocean and red ocean. Red ocean is very competitive, full of bloodbath. But blue ocean is very peaceful, very cool. When you deal with blue ocean, you will be in the position to dictate terms and conditions to the market because you enjoy very close to a monopoly status, because you are one of the players who operate in the niche, because you understand the requirement of the market very well. Now, what I'm telling you, my friend, when you do research, never do research in the generic area. Never do research in the area of marketing, HR, finance. Always find your niche area. Find an area where there is need for research, but not many people are doing research. It's always easy to become authority in the less crowded market. If you are dealing with a high crowded market, heavy crowded market, it will be very difficult for you to become authority in the market. At the same time, many journals, they are publishing the research in the niche area, also find it difficult to get good quality papers. So advantage is very simple. If you do research in the niche area, it will be easy for you to publish your research paper in a Scopus index journal. Always refer quality research work. When we do literature review, most of the time we download Indian research papers published in low-grade journals. My dear friend, stop doing this. If you want your paper to be published at high-impact journals at Scopus, refer research papers. They are also published at Scopus. Now, advantage is when you are citing quality papers, editor will assume that you have written quality research papers. And when your paper will be published, again, chances will be very high that your paper will be referred and cited by the researchers across the world. So always refer quality research work. It is good idea to collaborate with authority in the area of your research. You might have seen many Indian researchers publishing papers in association with foreign authors. 1 + 1 is not always 2. Sometimes it is 11. When you collaborate with somebody who is authority in the area of your research, you'll be able to derive a lot of synergy. I'll share you my experience. Most of the top journals give a lot of importance to the affiliation of the author. And most of the top journals are based in West. And these editors strongly believe that quality research papers come only from top universities, top academic institutions of the world. And if you don't belong to those institutions, even you have done a good quality paper, the perception of the editor is not very positive. But when you collaborate with somebody who is authority in the area of your research, chances are very high that the editor will find it very positive. Again, I am not generalizing this. I am just sharing my personal experience that I had. So it's good to collaborate with authority in the area of your research. Always do research with higher scope of replication. Most of us have completed PhD, and some of us are in the process of completing PhD. You might have noticed that we are trying to replicate a research that has been conducted by somebody else in some other country. Why we do that? Because we strongly feel that the research that has been done by somebody in the West has a strong possibility of replication even in Indian context. My dear friend, when you do research with higher scope of replication, chances are very high that it will be considered by the top journals, and when it will be published, the researchers across the world would love to replicate your research in their context. Always get your work peer reviewed and revised before journal submission. My dear friends, human mind is designed to identify mistakes in other work. We are not capable of finding mistake in our work, but we are very much capable in finding mistakes in other work. So when you read the paper of others, you identify a lot many mistakes. So what I'm telling you, my friend, always give your research paper to some of your friends or someone who is expert in the area of your research and ask them to suggest you the scope for improvement, and then revise your paper before you submit your paper to the referred journal. This is one of the very important aspects. Do plagiarism check on your own. Most of us send paper for publication without plagiarism check. And what happens? It comes back depth rejected. Before you submit, make sure that your paper is having very little plagiarism or it has no plagiarism. Because top journals have a policy of zero tolerance for the plagiarism. So always do plagiarism check. There are many softwares you might have heard. Something is called Turnitin. You can make use of Turnitin. You can do plagiarism check of your paper. But if you're not having access to Turnitin, make use of some free software, that is EduBuddy and freechecker.com. Make use of those tools. You will have fair idea about the presence of copied material in your research paper. Always look for high impact journals when you are trying to publish your paper somewhere. My dear friends, most of us are away from high impact journals because they don't have papers. They think it will take so much time, so much time. Of course, it takes so much time. We want to publish our paper in 1 week, 10 days, 20 days, 30 days. My dear friend, if you are writing for a good journal, it takes time because the Scopus in the journal have its own process. They take your paper for review as per their guidelines and it takes time. It's always advisable to read the aims and scope and author guidelines of your target journals carefully. The top journals don't have any problem in collecting research papers. If they have to publish 10 research papers, they are getting 1,000 research papers. They are in the position to reject 990 papers and select best 10. My dear friends, it's very important for all of us to read the aims and scope in order to make sure that our research paper is matching with the scope of the journal. At the same time, whatever guidelines journal has given, we have to follow the guidelines very strictly in order to make our paper very competitive. Always make good first impression with your title and abstract. Most of us write abstract first. My dear friend, it is not a great idea. The abstract of the paper has to be written at the end because your abstract must give the gist of your whole research paper starting from the beginning to the end. Effective abstract includes aims, scope of the study, key problems, research methodology, key findings, limitations, as well as the possible contribution to the existing body of knowledge. At the same time, the title of the research paper should be very effective. My dear friend, if title of the paper and abstract is not tempting, chances are very high the editor of the journal won't even read your research paper completely. So make a good first impression with your title and abstract. Always have a professionally edited, not just proofread manuscript, including the main text, list, tables, and figures. Don't just write your paper. Make sure it is properly packaged. You know, many of us will believe that books are sold by its cover. My dear friend, research papers are also published if editor find your research paper professionally edited, professionally developed. So you have to make sure that your research paper is professionally edited. Always submit a cover letter with the manuscript. Whenever you are submitting a research paper to a target journal, especially using email option, my dear friend, write a cover letter. This shows your seriousness towards your research. And in the cover letter, you highlight some of the strong points of your research and try to prove that your research paper will be best suiting to the journal. Now, cover letter is not very important when you are uploading your research paper to the journal website using the form option. But whenever you are sending using email, make sure to include cover letter in the manuscript. Always address reviewers' comment very carefully. Don't take it lightly, my dear friends. You have to look at every comment carefully and you have to revise your research paper accordingly. And very important thing, my friend, have patience. Don't be in hurry. Great things take time. At this point of time, I would like to ask you a simple question. Are you certain of writing for high impact journal? You can give me answer in the chat box. You can say yes or you can say no. Are you really certain of writing for Scopus index journals? Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. All of you will agree to it. Everyone wants to publish in Scopus journals, but not able to do so. And reason is very simple, not enough help. We academicians are very conjuice, very major in sharing our knowledge, sharing our expertise with fellow colleagues. You might have seen in your workplace, if somebody knows research, if somebody is publishing at top places, he does not want to share his expertise with anybody else. Because of the lack of help, most of us are not able to do it. My dear friend, I thought of helping the academic and research community for publishing research papers in a very simple manner, and I designed a program called Online Research Program. This online research program is designed for 30 days, and this is to help aspiring authors write and publish in high impact journals. This program is a mix of webinars, home assignments, and personalized interactions. There are limited seats for better interactions. There is mentoring support till completion, till submission. Certificate of course will be provided, and this is highly recommended for somebody who wants to publish their research at Scopus journal. And I can guarantee you, if you follow my guidelines properly, you will be able to write a good quality research paper within 30 days. My dear friend, 2 batches are already running and both batches are running full. If you are interested to join this program, you can contact me on my WhatsApp number that is flashing on the screen. You can make note of it. That's 9394539593. You can take note of my mobile number. You can be in touch with me if you're interested to join. Right now, I am open for question and answer. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I am opening my chat box and I'll be taking your question. So whatever question you have, please let me know. Any question? I am on the chat box. I am able to see your questions. So please type your question if you have any.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, how to connect the theory with our research? Like theory is something different and our research problem is something different. How to connect that? Like I'm working on the informal learning.
Okay. So are you talking about qualitative research or quantitative research?
It is a quantitative research, sir.
See, in quantitative research, you have to ensure that whatever you are writing in the paper is based on the existing body of knowledge. If you are not able to connect the theory with your research, I'll strongly advise you to change the theory. You find a theory that is matching to your research. Because if you are writing with something unrelated, you won't find many publishers publishing your paper.
Okay, sir. It is not compulsory that it is totally matched with our concept. It is okay that it is give something based to our research.
See, you have to understand one thing. Are you going to replicate the study or you are going to take input from the study? If you are just taking input, you don't have to make sure everything is matching completely.
Okay.
You just have to take some important hint, important lead in order to support your research. But when you are replicating the research, it is like you are doing the same thing with some kind of modification, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
replication of the study is different from extending the research.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are very much audible.
Yes, sir, I'm an English faculty actually. I'm working in a
Okay.
engineering college. They have given a strict instruction to all the faculty to submit at least 2 Scopus papers in an year. Is it
Okay.
really possible to publish 2 papers in an year, sir, in Scopus recognized journals?
See, I'll tell you the reason. Most of the colleges and universities are under pressure to get NAC accreditation or NBA accreditation or some kind of accreditation, right? And those accreditation body give so much importance to research and publication. See, if you look at the present context in the academic institution, given the workload that all faculty members are having, publishing 2 research papers in a Scopus journal is not impossible, but it's not easy, right? It is certainly difficult. You have to give a lot of blood and sweat, then only you'll be able to do it.
Sir, first request, sir, from my side actually. Could you please suggest any list of Scopus Indian journals, please? For example, something related to English language teaching or whatever.
I can give you the list of complete Scopus journal, and you can sort it using Excel option because it's in the Excel sheet, right?
Yes.
You can go to the Excel and you can sort it out. So if you want the list, just send me a message on my WhatsApp number. I will send you the list of all Scopus journals. You
Yes.
just sort it out based on your subject, based on the country of origin, based on from where it is indexed in the Scopus. There are a lot of options, filtering options. So you can use that filtering options and you can do that.
Thank you very much, sir.
So which impact factor is like good? Someone say above 5 is good, above 7 is good. So
See,
how we judge that?
it's very difficult to find a lot of journals having impact factor above 4 or 5, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you something very practical. If you're able to publish a research paper in a journal that is having impact factor more than 3.5, it is fairly good,
Okay, sir.
right? So,
But one question more. Sorry to disturb you, but if we go through the conference, so it's easy to get published in Scopus in this journal.
let me tell you one thing. Most of the conferences in India, right, are simply promoting Scopus to market their conference, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got the point. So ultimately, they will say that because of blah 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 reasons, your paper is not accepted. And
Yes, sir, yes.
I normally don't recommend anybody to write so much for conferences, right? If you're really a serious researcher, try to publish more and more in high impact journals because there is very little value for conference paper presentation.
Yes, that's the reason, sir. But thing is that a high impact journals, some journals charges for the publication, sir, and that is amount is also high.
I'll tell you, depends. If you are a serious researcher and you are ready to wait for 2 years, 3 years, there are many
Yes, sir.
journals they don't charge 1 rupee also. But if you are in urgent requirement of publishing a research paper, then you find shortcuts, right?
Yes, sir.
If you are certain and you can wait, then go ahead with the journal. They don't charge.
Okay.
Sir,
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Someone
Hello.
else can ask question.
Hello.
sir,
Yes.
when you are handling the class, actually, you have introduced some plagiarism-free tools as well as referencing websites. So you are
Okay.
little at the time. Could you please place the message regarding them, or else any other way, sir?
You do one thing. Send me a message on my WhatsApp. Whatever query you have with respect to plagiarism tool or you know that downloading research papers, I'll send you the link. I can
Yes.
send you the link, or I can type in the chat box. You can take a note. I'm typing the chat box.
Because I
You
feel
will.
that if you are going to keep it in the chat box, it would be useful to all of us.
That's what I'm keeping in the chat box.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
So from when this fresh course is starting of yours, sir, research?
Already 2 batches have started.
Yes, sir.
We'll start soon. Probably in a week we'll start next batch. So if
So,
you're interested, please join. Because
so,
I am actually offering this course on price that is very close to zero. Right.
Yes,
I
sir,
am
but-
charging fee just to make sure that only serious people should come into my program.
So one thing is that we have to regularly attend the online classes, or
No,
it is
I will tell you. I'll tell you how the program is working. This is not like FTP or MDP.
Oh yes, sir.
This program is for a month, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And every week you will be having one class and one doubt clearance session,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So you have one class followed by a doubt clearance session, but you are asked to submit your work parallelly. See, program has been designed in such a way that you will be learning and you will be writing your research paper parallelly. And purpose is to make sure that every participant is able to write one good quality research paper within 30 days.
So both quantitative or qualitative, anyone, any.
Yeah, both. The type of paper doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes, please tell me your question.
Hello. Sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Sir, actually, I just wanted to ask, like in the beginning, Mr. Rahman, sir, he said that is to become a member for the Indian Association of Research, I suppose. So how can we get a membership over there? And,
I think sir will get back to you with all the detail with respect to how to become member of IARA and how to start your journey with IARA.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, you'll be getting all the details from the organization very soon.
So if he would have sent the link, then it would be better for us, I think so.
He will send. I think he is also in the meeting. I will request him to send the link so that you can go through the link.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
so much.
I have already posted the link. You get all the details in this link.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I have received it, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
From this contender, like as I told you, I see the show that you follow your heart.
Your voice is not audible. Can I have next question? If you are not able to speak, you can type in the chat box. I'll take questions from the chat box.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please tell.
Sir, one more question. It is a simple question, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to know the answer from your side. Like, what is
Yeah.
the difference between publishing in the journals and publishing the papers? I mean to say, presentation of the papers in conferences. So, what is the basic difference we find it?
The basic difference is that it carries different weight as far as APA scoring is concerned. If you're working in the university system, you might have heard about APA score.
Yes, sir. Yes,
right.
Sir.
So this has different weight in that APA score. The second thing is that when you are going for accreditation and all, that accreditation body give more importance to journal publication, very less importance to conference proceeding publication.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So my submission is, if you are writing a paper, you try to publish first in the high quality journal, because in India you might have noticed that you write and send anything to a conference, they'll accept it.
Yes,
Right.
sir, yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
did you see conferences rejecting your paper? You will not find.
No.
Because they don't find paper itself. So how they will reject it? Right.
Yes, yeah.
So you don't add lot of value in your profile if you just publish in the conference proceeding.
Yeah.
Participate in the conference for meeting new people and having some kind of knowledge exchange. But publication you must do with a journal only.
Yes, sir. So many times we have noticed that is in the many of the conferences paper, whatever the papers we have published, after a few months, the UGC they reject it. So
Correct.
how can we get to know that is on which type of conference? If supposingly we want to present the paper in the conferences also, how do we get to know that is we should publish in those conferences or we shouldn't? That's what is one of the, because again what happens that is you have done the hard work and afterward you get to know that is your papers are being it doesn't have any value. So how do
Your
you get to
question
know
is very
about
much
it?
valid, but let me
Yes.
tell you that UGC
Yes.
list is very dynamic, right? UGC keep on changing its list. Earlier it used to change every quarter, but now it is changing its list every month,
Yes, sir.
right? So sometimes you'll find that you have sent your paper for publication in a journal today, and by the time it is getting published, the journal itself is out of the list.
Yes,
Right.
that's what.
See, we are not strong enough to comment against UGC or something. So what I will advise you, be careful when you are publishing in the UGC list journal.
Okay.
Right. Because UGC list itself is very, very dynamic in nature. Recently, UGC came with a list. When UGC de-recognized some of the Scopus journal also. You go to the UGC Care website, you will come to know that it has de-recognized some of the Scopus journal. So whenever you are publishing your papers, do proper search, do proper research, and have assurance that you are publishing at a right place, so that you will never be in trouble.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir,
Thank
you
you so much.
suggest. So one question, sir. Sir, you suggested us for collaborative research with the partners, foreign scholars. How could we contact them, sir, or could we have a collaborative work with them?
See, whenever you are reading a research paper, you are also checking that which research paper is written in your area of interest, right? For example, if you do research in the area of relationship marketing, or you are doing research in the area of customer satisfaction, or if you are doing research in the area of, let's say, understanding consumer behavior, so you might have seen some top paper published in the international journals, right? Maybe from international authors, right? So just try to connect with him, right? You just you'll easily find his contact detail on Google Scholar or on the college website where he is associated. Send him a mail and also tell him about your research that you are interested to do and request him to collaborate. Right? There are chances if you are contacting 10 people, 8 people will say I'm not interested. Right? But if you are if you are serious, you will find somebody who will be interested in collaborating.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, one more question, sir. Sir,
Yeah, please.
know that regarding the Scopus is concerned, two types of journals are there. One is free journals and the other one is paid journals. For example, if I want to publish a paper in a paid journal, how much I supposed to pay? If it is a free journal, how much time I have to wait for it?
See, I'm not sure about the payment part, right? Because I am a very sincere researcher and I always publish in a journal that is free, right? But I have seen many people are publishing in the paid journal because they are in the urgent requirement. Either they have to submit the PhD thesis or something else. They are in urgency of publishing, right? So
Yes.
I'm not the right person to tell you about how much to be charged and how much you have to pay. Right? I am basically a faculty member and my job is to impart you knowledge, skills.
Yes, I
Right?
understand.
You got the point. So those parts.
Yes, I understand.
Thank you so much.
Sir, if it is a free journal, can we assume that how much time it will take to publish a paper?
It depends on the quality of your paper. If your paper quality is acceptable to the journal, it may take anywhere in between 1.5 years to 2.5 years.
Oh, thank you very much.
So one question: how to check the effectiveness of journal?
What? How to check?
Effectiveness of the journal. Which journal is more effective? How to check that?
See, when you are checking the impact factor, if journal is having high impact factor, it means journal is more strong, more credible in nature. So impact factor is one criteria. Also look at the duration of its indexing. You will find some Scopus journal, they got indexed last year, right? So it means it's not so credible. You will find so many journals, they got indexed 20 years back, right? So, or 10 years back. So obviously a journal that is in the index from last 10 years is more credible compared to a journal that got indexed last year.
Thank you, sir.
So you
Thank
have
you.
to
Thank
do
you
some
so much.
background search.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please, sir.
Sir, can you conduct one session on the detail on the analysis part of the research, sir?
Sure, I keep on
One
doing.
FDP on that.
I'll request IARA to accept your intentions and take this to the next level.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right? Thank
Yes, sir.
you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your information.
Thank you.
So just want to give a vote of thanks for giving a wonderful session. At our home, we can have a wonderful information. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
So
so
shall I
much.
assume there is no more question?
Yes, sir. It's a really valuable information for us, sir.
Yes.
Great. So any other question if you have, you can ask, or we will close this meeting.
Sir, if it is possible, could you please provide the Scopus list in the chat box itself so that we can make use of it actually.
What you want?
Sir, if you would provide the list of Scopus journals actually, the list of Scopus journals in the chat box.
List of Scopus journal, I cannot, it's a Excel file and I cannot paste in the chat box. Right, I have to send you. What I'll do, I'll put it on the group, right? You have a group, WhatsApp
Yes,
group.
sir. Better in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, correct. On the group, I will send you that Scopus list.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I think there is no further question.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, please say.
Sir, you mentioned some citation site. I could not type it out. If you could
Okay,
just mention
I'm
it
putting
again,
the
citation site.
yeah, I'm typing in the chat box. You please take
Yeah,
a note.
please, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
So will you please provide once view to your presentation, just in order to check?
What you want?
We just want to have a look on presentation that you have shown from earlier.
Right now, shall I play it again?
Yes. Presentation from the first.
Okay. I hope you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Good. So I'm playing it.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Sir, sorry to again disturb you. Actually, I had a question. Like, in publishing the paper in the Scopus journal, does the analysis and the interpretation it really counts for, or because analysis and interpretation it differs from person to person?
It's very, very important. See, it may differ, but you have to make sure that whatever you are writing, it is being justified with the help of your data analysis. Right. So data analysis is really very, very important in order to support your conclusions and findings. Right. So you have to do a very good quality data analysis.
Yeah. Sir, what happens that is many times we use the regression analysis, and from the perspective point of view of the researcher, they want something. I mean to say, they want some kind of correlation analysis. So, like how now what is the differences of the analysis part?
See, let me tell you. See, normally you do correlation when you are dealing with two variables.
Yes,
right.
And
when you are dealing with multiple variables, you go for a multiple regression analysis, right?
Yes.
See, multiple regression analysis also make use of correlation only in order to tell you the model fit. You got the point? So the basic difference between multiple regression is that you are considering multiple variables and you are defining which is independent variable and which is dependent variable. In correlation, you are dealing with only two variables, right? So at one point of time, you are trying to understand the strength of association between two variables. So correlation analysis actually tells you that a strength of association, right? It also gives you direction like plus and minus, and value ranges between 0 to 1, right? But when you look at multiple regression analysis, it gives you relationship between multiple variables and its impact on a dependent variable, right? So depending on the requirement, you are deciding what to do, either correlation or regression or both. It totally depends on the research objective, right? What are your research objectives? In order to justify it, whatever analysis is required, just do it. We should never do any analysis just like that. Analysis must be in relation with the research objective, and it should help us justify our findings.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So lastly, will you please able to give us the presentation or in the form of PDF? Will it be possible?
You want this slide?
Yes, if...
No problem. I will share the slides on the group.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I hope that there is no more question. So, am I allowed to quit?
Thank you.
So, hoping for meeting soon with the next session, with the next topic.
All right. Thank you so very much. I wish you all happy writing and very happy publishing. And once again, thank you so much and wish you all the luck.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so much, sir.
And knowledgeable session.
Hope, I would like to propose a vote of thanks.
Please.
Yeah.
Before going officially for the vote of thanks, we regret to those who couldn't join for this session, which was very informative. And I am sure Dr. Rahman and his team will definitely resolve these issues and make and provide PPTs and videos to them so that they don't miss out the information which was shared here. At the outset, myself, Farzana Chowre, on behalf of DRT's AE Kalsekar Degree College and Indian Academicians and Researchers Association, I take this opportunity to extend our gratitudes to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Kunal Gaurav sir, for addressing the participants. Sir has in fact provided very informative and insightful guidelines for writing and publishing research paper in Scopus journal, which is quite neat of the hour. I would like to place our gratitudes to our management, principal, staff who were there continuously encouraging and supporting. Thanks are also to Dr. Rahman and his team, Mr. Arvind and others who, along with Indian Academician and Researchers Association, has helped in hosting this session to us. Last but not the least, I thank all the participants for joining this session and making the question answers quite interactive. Thank you one and all.
Thank you
Just
so very much.
Thank you so much, Farzana ma'am.
not join the first session, please add them to the second session. If you can
Yeah.
add those people who were there, because lot many were waiting for the first session. So just see to it if they can join the second session and ask the person to put it on group, WhatsApp group, that they can join the second session. Okay, so
Yes,
thank you very much. It was very nice. Yeah, very nice, informative session. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Farzana ma'am. For a
Thanks,
short
Nidhi.
period of time you have added all of us. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nidhi. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Regarding the inconvenience part, I will tell that in the second session we will accommodate the persons who are not able to join, and even if it's required, we can make another session also. In this session, we have not received the request. That's why we are not able to join. By the way, what is means we'll try to accommodate in the second session. That will be starting the 3 p.m. And regarding the certificate part, we'll post all the certificates to the group on 21st of this month, means after 4 days. So thanks and thank you all.
Thank you, sir.